Once upon a time, in a small village, a young boy lived named Kenta. Kenta was known for his ever-smiling face, and a heart full of gratitude. He found joy in the simplest of things, and was grateful for every little gift life offered. One summer day as the sun shone brightly, Kenta decided to explore the nearby forest. As he wandered through the tall trees, he came across a hidden glade, where a wise old monk was sitting peacefully meditating. The monk's serene presence intrigued Kenta, and he decided to approach him. "Hello, wise monk," said Kenta with a bow. "I am Kenta, a simple boy from the village. What brings you to this tranquil place?" The monk smiled warmly at Kenta and said, "Greetings, young one. I come here to find inner peace and to teach others the power of gratitude." Kenta was curious. "Power of gratitude? What is that?" he asked. The monk replied, "Gratitude is the act of being thankful for the blessings in your life, no matter how big or small. It is a powerful force that can bring joy and contentment to your heart." Kenta nodded, trying to understand, but how can gratitude be so powerful? He asked. The wise monk gestured for Kenta to sit beside him. "Let me share a story with you," he said. "Once there was a powerful king who ruled over a vast kingdom. He possessed great wealth, a large army, and everything one could desire. However, the king was always unhappy and constantly wanted more. He believed that power and possessions would bring him lasting happiness." Kenta listened intently, intrigued by the tale. One day, the monk continued, the king came across a humble sage who lived in a small hut. Despite having very little, the sage was always content and wore a peaceful smile on his face. The king couldn't understand how the sage could be happy with so little. He asked the sage, "How can you be content when you have nothing compared to my grand kingdom?" The sage replied, "Your Majesty, true happiness doesn't come from the things we possess. It comes from appreciating what we have and being grateful for life's simple gifts." The king was puzzled, so the sage suggested a challenge. "Let us trade places for a day," he proposed. "You live in my hut and I will stay in your palace. We will see how gratitude can make a difference." Curious about the outcome, the king agreed to the challenge. As he lived in the humble hut, he noticed the beauty of the sunrise, the chirping of birds, and the kindness of the villagers who brought him food. He started feeling grateful for the little things he had never noticed before. Meanwhile, the sage experienced life in the grand palace, surrounded by opulence and luxury. However, he remained humble and expressed gratitude for the shelter, food, and the opportunity to experience a different life. When the day ended, the king returned to the sage and exclaimed, "I have learned a valuable lesson. Gratitude has the power to transform our hearts and minds. It brings contentment and joy, no matter where we are or what we have." The monk smiled at Kenta, finishing the story. "You see, my dear Kenta, gratitude is like a magic key that unlocks happiness within us. When we appreciate the gifts of life, even the simplest ones, we find peace and abundance in our hearts." Kenta understood the wisdom in the monk's words. From that day on, he embraced gratitude wholeheartedly and lived a life filled with joy and thankfulness. And so the village of Kenta became a place of happiness, where the power of gratitude touched the hearts of all who lived there.